Kylo Ren versus Cal Kestis, the leader of the First Order and one of the most notorious killers in the galaxy, versus one of the last few remaining Jedi. So, who's coming out on top here? Well, let's find out. So for this fight, we'll be using both characters in their prime. And even though Star Wars Jedi Survivor looks amazing and I can't wait to play it, this video is coming out before the game, so we won't be using any feats from the newest game, just Fallen Order. So let's get to it. What's up guys, I'm Daniel and this is Danco. We do fight breakdowns every week, plus the occasional power ranking video like this one or things like that. So if that seems interesting to you, we'll sit back and enjoy the video. Hit that like button. And if you want to, well, hit the subscribe button while you're at it. Now let's get to it. Ben Solo was the son of Han Solo and Leia Organa, nephew of Luke Skywalker, who was one of the first Padawans under the new Jedi Order. But he was eventually seduced to the dark side, joining the First Order and becoming Kylo Ren. And while Ben did eventually find his way back to the light, that was only after he had killed his dad, nearly killed his mom, killed Snoke, become the supreme leader of the First Order, and killed a ton of other people along the way too. Kylo Ren is an incredibly powerful fighter, easily overpowering people, knocking them backwards, or even savagely cutting them limb from limb. Even if you're wearing lightsaber resistant armor, Kylo is strong enough to really mess you up. He's incredibly durable, regularly able to take attacks, lightsaber strikes, and even explosions and keep on going. Top it off, Kylo Ren is incredibly fast and agile as well, able to react and block blaster bolts, and regularly uses the Force in order to amp himself and make him superhumanly fast. Kylo Ren is also a ruthless and skilled fighter with his lightsaber. He's able to take on whole groups of trained fighters all by himself, like the Praetorian Guards or the Knights of Ren. He's also able to defeat Ren, the master of the Knights of Ren, in a one-on-one fight while dual-wielding lightsabers. Kylo is also skilled at using the Force within a fight, as he's been able to freeze blaster bolts in midair, throw people all around throughout a fight, even push back an opponent's lightsaber with the Force. Kylo Ren has all the potential of his Skywalker bloodline, being just as formidable a fighter as his uncle and grandfather before him, taking after Anakin and his powerful Force abilities. And Luke even sensed that Kylo Ren's potential was near infinite. Cal Kestis was a Jedi Padawan and one of the last remaining survivors of the Great Jedi Purge. After years of fighting in the Clone Wars, Cal was forced to go into hiding after Order 66 was executed. But when an accident forced Cal to reveal his Jedi powers, he had to become a fugitive from the Notorious, a group of dark side users trained by Darth Vader to hunt down Jedi. Cal wields a double-bladed lightsaber in combat, but he modified his lightsaber to where he can detach it into two different blades, meaning he can switch from single-bladed to double-bladed to even dual-wielding throughout a fight. Cal has been able to cut down countless enemies throughout his adventures, fighting against stormtroopers and battle droids and monsters and aliens, even purge troopers, specialized Imperial troopers that were specifically trained to fight and kill rogue Jedi. Cal has also had his fair share of fights against other skilled duelists, like when he fought against and beat the hulking Ninth Sister in a fight, or fought against and finally beat the dangerous and deadly Second Sister, one of the deadliest of all the Inquisitors. Cal was also able to fight against Taron Malakis, a fallen Dark Jedi Master and the leader of the Nightbrother clan. And even though he needed the help of a Night Sister to ultimately defeat Taron, she was just enough to finally tip the fight at the very end, implying that Cal was evenly matching against him for the majority of the showdown. Cal Kestis is also exceptionally skilled with the Force, and is unusually talented in Force stasis. So, like Kylo Ren, he's also able to slow or stop any object around him. Then, like pretty much every other Jedi ever, he's skilled with telekinesis, pulling enemies toward him so he can cut them down, or sending enemies flying in the opposite direction with a force push. So, who wins? Well, let's find out. Now, in this battle between force users, I want to get a little philosophical. Talk about the difference between realized and unrealized potential. Because let me read you some quotes about Kylo Ren. He's stated to be the greatest warrior in the First Order, is an almost unstoppable force on the battlefield, is the ideal embodiment of the Force. Kylo is considered to be Luke's equal, and in Force Awakens, Kylo Ren could have defeated Luke Skywalker from Empire Strikes Back. Those are official statements that have been made about Kylo Ren in the past. And tell me, does that line up with this guy that we saw in the movies? Not really. Not to say that Kylo wasn't impressive for what he was, but it's hard to see this guy actually being compared to Luke Skywalker. And that's the difference between realized and unrealized potential. Sure, Kylo Ren has the potential with the Force to rival Darth Vader himself, but definitely not at his current skill or power. We rarely see characters reach their full potential in Star Wars, and Kylo's no different. Meanwhile, Cal Kestis isn't special when it comes to power or potential. That's part of his whole thing. He's just an average Jedi, a no-name Padawan who was able to survive Order 66 in part because no one was looking for him. But what Cal lacks in power, he more than makes up for in skill. Cal Kestis has been able to defeat both the second and the ninth sister, Inquisitors trained and deployed by Darth Vader himself in order to go out there and kill Jedi Knights. Cal can even hold his own against a Jedi Master, although he needed help to actually defeat that Master. The only real dueling defeats that Kylo Ren has is defeating the Knights of Ren, who are hardly Force users at all, defeating Jedi Padawans in the comics, and basically defeating Rey, whose only real formal training comes from books. On top of that, Cal has the ability to switch up his fighting style in an instant, going from single saber to double-bladed to even dual wielding all in an instant. Kylo Ren definitely has more raw force power, and he's got potential on par with Darth Vader. But how many times in Star Wars do we have to see that raw power doesn't always win you a fight? I mean, just look at Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Anakin Skywalker on Mustafar. Point proven. Power doesn't always beat skill. In fact, it often doesn't. And I think that's what's going to happen here too. Cal Kestis is the more skilled fighter, has more versatility with his blades and experiences. He has great force powers of his own, and I think he's going to be able to beat Kylo Ren. Cal Kestis wins. But what do y'all think? Sound off in the comments down below. I know you're going to have thoughts and feelings on this one for sure. If you stuck around this long and made it to the end of the video, that's amazing. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting us. And if you want to go subscribe, well, go subscribe. You're going to see more videos like this one every single week. I'll see y'all then. I'll see y'all next time.